When I first started practicing magic, I read all the books, sought out teachers, but still rarely saw concrete examples of the work. You could find some videos of common standard rituals. You could go to some public events, but you almost never see a working magus experimenting in the temple. Now, against the advice of some luminaries in the field, I'm throwing open the temple doors so you can witness the evocation of a spirit named Ahzs. Hey folks, this is James, aka Thresciornis, and we're in for another long one, but that was inevitable, as I hope that my videos are building on each other, showing the evolution of a working system. This video builds off my previous one, Emergent Goetia, and it's not necessary to watch, but I highly recommend it if you have the time. As I said in my introduction, you rarely see documentation like this, especially with evocation, and there's a lot of good reasons for that. Starting with the problem of expectations. If you're expecting the full-formed physical manifestation of a spirit in this video, you're going to be disappointed. In my experience, that rarely happens, and as far as I can tell, is mostly an internal perception than an external one. I'm not saying demons can't show up on video, only that it would require a lot of evidence to go with it, and that's evidence that I've never seen. The lack of spectacular evidence means a magus is opening themselves up to ridicule. There will be people who look at this and write it off. Either they doubt the efficacy of the spirit box, or don't believe in the reality of evocation to begin with. And that's fine. I've got thick skin. If you don't see any value here, move along. It's not your thing. I ask that you keep an open mind and at least speculate what if we are actually speaking with a spirit here. Third, there are those who believe, and this includes people I highly respect, that any spirit communication should be a private affair, that you should not announce and detail your relationships with the spirits. Again, there's a lot of good reasons for this. And I would counter that there is a great value in peer review. Once again, even if you just think you may be communicating with a being outside our dimension, you have some responsibility to document it. And I'm not saying you have to share or post it online, but me, I'm ready for critiques and observations I might have missed. So before I go down any more rabbit holes, you're going to need to know some of the background. What I'm showing is the latest results of a project I've been working on for more than 3 years now, the evocation of Egyptian demons, specifically any spirit associated with Thoth. After I came up with an evocation process for these spirits, I started using a Ouija or talking board as my device for communication. In those sessions, I learned of a being calling himself Abtet, a self-professed trickster. I learned his favorite offering, Kinder Joy eggs, and set up a shrine for him in my temple. But as I've said before, I find the talking board cumbersome at best, and as soon as I learned about the spirit box and the Estes method, I knew I wanted to employ it in my work. Things really took off from there, and we encountered a being we have named Ahzs, and we've called him that because the word has repeated multiple times in multiple spirit box sessions, and the spirit responded to it. It seemed the spirit at least knew who Abtet was, and may have had some kind of relationship with him. Ahzs seems to have some kind of position in the Mansion of Thoth, though whether that is as an ambassador, a seneschal, or a librarian is not clear, and may never be clear. There may not be a human conception for Ahz's role, Another thing to note that gets briefly mentioned in this particular session is that Ahzs and Abtet have continually made reference to three brothers, or some kind of group of three spirits that they are part of. The identity of this third spirit remains elusive, and that may be because it lacks any conception of human language. I am also open to the possibility that they are merely referring to a tapestry on my wall, as they have often identified objects in the room during sessions. Going with my theory that spirits are manipulating existing radio signals to try and communicate, it's a given that the communication is often unclear. If all they have to grab is local radio stations, they're going to use responses that don't make sense a lot of the time. I often get the impression that the words are chosen because they sound like the word the spirit is attempting to communicate. What you're about to listen to came about through my renewed research on Egyptian demons when I made that video. While searching for entities, I discovered the Egyptian god Ah, or sometimes called Aya or Yah. The name instantly struck me for its similarity to Ahzs. Ah is a god of the moon, and his name means moon. Some speculate he was a lunar deity in early Egyptian history until that role was taken over by Thoth and others. In some legends, he is the pupil of Thoth. In early versions of the classic tale where Thoth plays a game with Ra, with the bet being added extra days to the calendar so Nuit can give birth, it is Ah, not Thoth, playing against Ra. Some also speculate that Ah was the god of the calendar until Thoth took that role, when the Egyptians moved from a lunar to a solar-based calendar. Ah is sometimes called the god of the new moon, so I planned on contacting Ahzs at the next new moon and ask him if he is related or if he's the same being, or at least give me more information about Ahz's role and how he fits in with the hierarchy of spirits that serve Thoth. I'm not going to go over the entire process of the evocation here. You can learn about that in my video on emergent Goetia. The basics you need to know is that we had one person in the spirit box using the Estes method, and I performed the ritual incantation and asked most of the questions. Also, my friend Estradia pulled tarot cards during the session to try to provide more clarity. Throughout this video, the camera is pointed at my black obsidian mirror to see if it catches any manifestations. If you see any while watching, I'd be glad to hear of it in the comments. Another thing you'll hear in the video is a device called a REM pod, which is essentially a cheap theremin. The antenna emits an electromagnetic field, and the device is designed to sound an alarm when that field is grounded. The stronger the grounding, the louder it gets. And I've tested this device multiple times, and when I just leave it alone in the temple, it doesn't go off at all. In fact, it hasn't done much during most of my evocations, but this time was different. It produced several sustained hits throughout the session. Okay, I realize this video is already getting long, and some of you may not want to watch the entire 20-minute spirit box session while eating your oatmeal. And that's okay. Feel free to just get a feel for it and skip to the end where I'll pop back in with some wisdom. In any case, I found it extremely helpful to listen to these recordings multiple times and create transcripts that can be examined. And I'm going to post that transcript on my Ko-Fi page for free. No donation required, so people get a better understanding of this video. Though, maybe after you've seen how much work this requires, you'll drop a few bucks my way. Creating the transcript itself took nearly 3 hours of painstaking typing and constantly rewinding the video to watch everything. Though, like I said, it's totally worth it for my own research. See you on the flip side.
Procol este profani, ballistae, amphada, Eoth, Aberoth, Betsum, Itzhak Sebioth. I invoke Tahuti, the Lord of wisdom and of utterance, the God that comes forth from the veil. Thoth, majesty of Godhead, wisdom crowned Tahuti, Lord of the gates of the universe. Thee I invoke, thee I invoke. God of the ibis head, thee I invoke, thee I invoke. He who uses the wand of double power, thee I invoke, thee I invoke. In your left hand, the Ankh of light and life, thee I invoke, thee I invoke. Whose head is as an emerald, and his Nemi's night sky blue, thee I invoke, thee I invoke. Whose skin is a flaming orange as though it burned in a furnace, thee I invoke, thee I invoke. Behold, I am yesterday, today, and the brother of tomorrow. I am born again and again. Mine is the unseen force from which the gods are sprung. Behold, he is in me, and I in him. For I am he who creates the word, and speaks the word, and is the word, from which all things are made. For I am Magus, Kefra created in the flesh. I am the Eidolon of Thoth. The God who commands is in my mouth. The God of wisdom is in my heart. The God of magic makes my will manifest. Come, I say, come. Make all spirits subject unto me, so that every spirit of the cosmos, and of the ether, and of the earth, and under the earth, and in the water, of whirling air, and of rushing fire, and every spell and scourge may be obedient to me. Thoth, Lord of all that is known and will be known, be with me now. I descend from the palace of the stars. I greet you, I embrace you, all spirits that are gathered together in the hall of darkness. I am the speech in the silence, the lantern against the night, the keeper of the formulas of knowledge, the breath of wisdom, the root of vibration. I shake the invisible, I tear asunder the darkness. I create all that is seen and unseen. In the presence of the eternal, I am the voice of Tahuti in the universe, scion of Thoth on earth, the breaking forth of the light. By the word of Thoth the Atlantean, I call forth the spirits. By the power of the Ogdoad, I create the portal. Nu, the primordial ocean. Nuit, the ocean of stars. Hehu, god of a million years. Hehuet, the timeless desert. Kek, the corrupted darkness. Kekuet, the comforting darkness. Amun, the unknowable mystery. And Amunet, the mystery revealed. Lend me your power. Amut, you are the gateway. Amut, you are existence eternal. Amut, you are eternal non-existence. Amut, I ask thee to look upon the record of Jehuti and judge me worthy. I come to you as a living man. Take mercy on my humble Ba and open the gates of the Doat. O soul one who rises as the moon, O soul one who shines as the moon, may Thresciornis go out with this thy multitude. Deliver of them that they are in the sunlight, open the netherworld. I, Thresciornis, ego sum legio, beloved of Thoth, scribe of the order of emergent magi, call to you who inhabit the mansion of the moon. In the name of Jehuti, reveal yourself unto me and my companions, so that we may treat with you.
Hi.
Hi. I would like to speak with Ahzs.
Your shoulders for the count.
Is this Ahzs?
Ask me.
Is this my friend Ahzs?
Third. The fingers suck.
Third who?
You should ask me what day.
9 of Wands reversed.
What day?
Coffee. Loot.
I would like to speak with Ahzs.
Ace of Wands reversed.
What's that? Is it destruction?
The moon.
I am calling upon Ahzs.
2 ready.
Ahzs, I want to know you better.
Brothers running.
Ahzs, did you ever have...
Blood fierce.
Do you have other names?
The tower reversed.
Scattered. In teams.
I'd like to know if you are also known as Ah, or Ya, or Aya.
A fire starter.
Who's a fire starter?
7 of Wands reversed.
Is it real? Seems so.
Is this Ahzs?
King of Wands upright.
Friendship has grown.
It's been a long time.
Bulky.
Is
Inflated.
Is Abtet here?
Knight of Swords upright.
Opponent heard her net.
Ahzs, I want to
The
talk.
body was
I want to talk to you about the god of the moon.
in that direction. Damn.
Do you know the god of the moon?
Serious.
Are you the
Redundant.
god? Are you the god of the moon?
5 of Pentacles.
It's the keeper.
Page of Wands.
Must. Interest coils.
Is your name Ah?
It's keepers.
Keepers of what?
Round. Likeness. Queen.
What queen?
Two of Wands.
Of the boulder.
The star.
It's a devil important.
2 of Wands and the star.
Who's the devil important?
Protest. Of the one. Higher.
I think we're getting different spirits competing here. And I really want to talk to Ahzs tonight.
Oops. Level. Makes us
This
mariachi music.
This is the new moon.
Christians have contaminated the worst.
Well, I can't
Oak.
disagree with that.
And bees.
Oak and bees.
And 5.
5 what?
I just pulled 5 of
What's
Wands.
new?
What's new with you?
Will
King of
vindicate
Pentacles.
your
King of Pentacles.
better math.
Vindicate my better math.
The
I don't
sun.
understand.
It's here to us.
The sun upright.
Are you saying that my research is correct?
Please, savant. He's like a bike.
I only want to speak with Ahzs.
No harm.
Who was touching that rod earlier? The purple thing.
Cool.
3 of Swords
Cool.
and the Magician.
Is that 6?
10 of Wands.
Cadence.
Lots of wands. Lots of fire.
Apples. 1.
Is this Ahzs?
Collection mayor. It's 20th.
What's
Fools.
Am I speaking in one-to-one in service of Jehudi?
Right at me. 12.
3 of Wands. Constantly.
Can you say?
Tortoise and jelly.
Can you tell us your name?
It's at your place. Yes. Daddy is pink.
Who's Daddy?
Heaven and sinner. Approaches now.
Page of Cups.
It's
reversed.
safe.
Page of Pentacles reversed.
Ahzs?
The Fool. Upright.
We're
Did you create the calendar?
5. Academic. Enough.
Are you a god of the moon?
Be smart. Any tour
5
of
Swords
feeling.
reversed.
Rabbi houses.
9 of Wands again.
It's
Before, you gave me
others 4.
the impression that you were the seneschal of Thoth, the keeper of his house.
Talk. Broke. Missionary. Righteous.
Do you speak the word of Thoth?
Moth.
Moth? See now. I don't
Moon
know.
7 of Wands
is
again.
key.
Moon is key. Key to what?
Nuisance gates.
10 of Pentacles.
Almost. Fevers.
5 of Pentacles.
Tell me why the moon is key.
A bocha.
What's a bocha?
Something dam.
Is a bocha
Approaches.
a guardian
In
of
the
the
mist.
underworld?
Broken. Brooms come up here.
Something damned in the mist approaches.
I am here to speak with Ahzs.
Barking up. Side. Up. Our froth.
Dogs barking
Froth?
at the moon is a symbol of the tarot.
Plainly.
You probably can't hear it on the microphone, but as soon as she said dogs barking, car alarm went off outside.
I heard that.
Queen of froth.
Who is this queen?
Ab.
Ab?
Seek.
Abtet?
Heart.
Astaroth?
Who's the Queen of Froth? 2 of Wands again.
Heard now. Stirrups
Kinky.
are important.
Kinky.
Thunder.
Thunder.
Stirrups are important for cavalry.
Who's this queen?
Ahzs.
Hello, Ahzs.
Matrix. In the cabinet.
Ahzs, tell me why the moon is key.
On Saturday.
On Saturday.
Buckskin. Skin. We don't put it on.
You don't put it on until
Dirt
Saturday.
house.
What's skin?
Scroll.
Scroll.
Squirrel is out of practice.
Queen of Cups.
What's scroll?
Makes.
Five of Cups.
That's my tune.
Two of Cups.
So you're a
I
fan
want
of my,
to.
you're a fan of my videos?
Wheel of Fortune reversed.
It's good for me. It's colored
Yeah.
entirely.
Ah.
The winter.
Someone is touching the rod again.
Bonder keep.
Who's Bonderkeep?
I'm gonna stop you for comments on topic.
That's quite a comment.
It not hurts. Baldness.
Yeah, I'm bald.
Six of Pentacles reversed.
You should lose that.
My baldness? I'm afraid.
Tethers. Bonds and mistakes.
What
Her,
mistakes?
do you
I've lost the thread.
speak?
Three of Cups.
I'll teach you about it.
What will you teach me? What I asked?
They're all equitable. Imaging. Fools.
What I want to know is the best times to talk to you.
It's the Rink show.
Three of Wands reversed again.
Negate stillness. Let's state sing.
Ten of Cups reversed.
Can you touch that rod again?
Old math. In green.
The Fool.
Yeah, firm.
Okay. Can you touch
It's
it?
probably
Probably what?
next in death sticks.
Death sticks. What are death sticks?
Bullets. High fall down.
Who's falling
It's a
down?
mistake. It's throat.
I get the impression you're trying to tell
Full
me.
stretch.
Tell me about things more important than I'm asking about.
Oz, I'm convinced, is a meter trend. Radar.
Is Oz the god of the moon?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Not me.
Not you.
Who are we talking to? Knight of Cups reversed.
Something's running and prepping. One brother. I've got this weird image of this eye looking back at me. What do you have? Flashing.
Well, the REM pod was flashing.
Fishing and skates.
The three brothers.
Of sports.
The Fool.
The Matrix.
Man, I said the
Hurry.
Matrix like 3 times tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for the help.
Help in what?
Steam of eye.
I would like to help you.
Serious?
How can I help you more?
What are the results? I guess, why not? Thanks.
Do you want
Yes.
more people to know about you?
I can hear me. Can you?
The tower.
I can hear you.
An ostrich? Bird?
A bird. An ibis?
And the levers? In that order?
Like
Sure, kids?
Oz, are there ways,
On point?
Are there ways that
There's
you
a bunch of goldenrod imagery.
Are there ways that you can help me?
Yeah, it's yours. Fixed.
I know a lot of people.
Yes, set
3 of Pentacles.
is king.
Set is king.
Set.
Set.
Sense.
Is this Oz?
Sure, I thought about it. It can fly.
I want to speak with Oz.
Lemons side out.
Oz, I'm going to ask you a favor.
I need proof.
Proof of what?
Of the traffic. Sports are the same.
Oz, there are a lot of members of my tribe who need healing.
On grounds.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Healing?
It's world side on the balcony. Doubtedly.
4 of Pentacles.
Oz.
Oz?
Bug.
Yes?
Bug.
Oz, I want to help you, and I'm hoping you can help me.
It's a bug. A beetle. Secured.
A scared
Forward.
beetle?
Tethered. Okie. Rack.
Are you talking about this beetle here?
Voice. Heard. It's a pod.
This beetle?
Pod on.
Yeah, the pod is on. The REM pod's
It's
on.
sort of slacking.
Well, maybe you need to touch it more.
Interesting.
Try asking a question, Jay.
It's goth. There's a telephone ringing.
Interesting.
Oz?
It's like a plague.
Yeah.
Talking down.
5 of Wands.
Oz, we're going to let you go now, okay?
Its shape.
Do you have any last things that you want to make sure that we know?
The world sees you.
Oh.
It would be useful
The moon reversed.
one day. Yes. Serp.
Thank you for being with us, Oz. C'est toi, Samuel.
Whoa. Man, these guys.
Now that you've seen what this form of evocation looks like, you can certainly make the argument that that's just gibberish. That assessment may be correct. But I would argue much of the history of magic is finding meaning out of random patterns. Tarot, runes, glossolalia or speaking in tongues, transmediumship, even Crowley's much vaunted Book of the Law can be said to contain a lot of gibberish. So if your initial reaction is to write it off, then you probably don't believe in magic to begin with, and you're in the wrong place. By the way, this is why I've never been one to disparage Wicca or New Age. Ultimately, my woo is no better or worse than anyone else's. No one has hard evidence. Once again, that's not to say you shouldn't try. And my good friend Zentrell has written, EMK is the slow magic, the long invocation. It's one of its guiding principles, and it means that your magic is something you build over months, years, and decades. No one spirit box session will be very convincing, but seeing patterns that repeat again and again over multiple sessions through multiple years does yield some surprising synchronicities. So dig in, find the methodology that works best for you, experiment with it, but don't just do it a couple of times and move on. Take it to its conclusion. It's a lifetime's work. And if you dig that philosophy, hit that like and subscribe, because you're going to get more Scroll of Thoth that way. Also, like I mentioned earlier, I've got a Ko-Fi page where we take donations. Next year, we're taking a trip to Egypt, and I could really use your help with covering some of the expenses, better camera equipment, paying the fees and licenses to even film in those locations. We've also got a Redbubble store. Get your Scroll of Thoth merchandise, other cool items. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.